Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Subject to psychoanalytic treatment. I was analyzed in Vienna by a famous psychiatrist. Break down into components or essential features. Analyze today's financial market. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. Analyze a sonnet by Shakespeare. Make a mathematical, chemical, or grammatical analysis of. Break down into components or essential features. Analyze a specimen. Subject to psychoanalytic treatment. Break down into components or essential features. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. Make a mathematical, chemical, or grammatical analysis of. Break down into components or essential features. Subject to psychoanalytic treatment. Subject to psychoanalytic treatment. A large piece of fabric, usually canvas fabric, by means of which wind is used to propel a sailing vessel. A heavy, closely woven fabric, used for clothing or chairs or sails or tents. A tent made of canvas fabric. An oil painting on canvas fabric. An inquiry into public opinion conducted by interviewing a random sample of people. The setting for a narrative or fictional or dramatic account. The mat that forms the floor of the ring in which boxers or professional wrestlers compete. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. Get the opinions of people by asking specific questions. Solicit votes from potential voters in an electoral campaign. Put to the test, as for its quality, or give experimental use to. Observe, check out, and look over carefully or inspect. The customs agent examined the baggage. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. Question or examine thoroughly and closely. Question closely. A branch of knowledge. Anthropology is the study of human beings. Give careful consideration to. Applying the mind to learning and understanding a subject, especially by reading. No schools offer graduate study in interior design. Attentive consideration and meditation. Preliminary drawing for later elaboration. Think intently and at length, as for spiritual purposes. He is meditating in his study. Learn by reading books. He is studying geology in his room. A detailed critical inspection. A written document describing the findings of some individual or group. This accords with the recent study by Hill and Dale. Be a student of a certain subject. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. A composition intended to develop one aspect of the performer's technique. A study in spiccato bowing. A room used for reading and writing and studying. He knocked lightly on the closed door of the study. A state of deep mental absorption. She is in a deep study. Be a student. Follow a course of study. Be enrolled at an institute of learning. Someone who memorizes quickly and easily, as the lines for a part in a play. He is a quick study. separate, substances, into constituent elements or parts. Lose control of one's emotions. Make ineffective. Martin Luther King tried to break down racial discrimination. Stop operating or functioning. Collapse due to fatigue, an illness, or a sudden attack. Fall apart. Make a mathematical, chemical, or grammatical analysis of. Break down into components or essential features. Cause to fall or collapse. Make a mathematical, chemical, or grammatical analysis of. Break down into components or essential features. Cut open or cut apart. Dissect the bodies for analysis. Divide into pieces. Take apart into its constituent pieces. Make a mathematical, chemical, or grammatical analysis of. Break down into components or essential features. Provide with choice or abundant food or drink. Don't worry about the expensive wine, I'm treating. Provide treatment for. The doctor treated my broken leg. Something considered choice to eat. Interact in a certain way. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. The new book treats the history of China. Subject to a process or treatment, with the aim of readying for some purpose, improving, or remedying a condition. Treat the water so it can be drunk. An occurrence that causes special pleasure or delight. Engage in negotiations in order to reach an agreement. They had to treat with the king. Provide with a gift or entertainment. Grandmother always treated us to the circus. Regard or consider in a specific way. I treated his advances as a joke. Provide treatment for. Be fond of, be attached to. Have a liking, fondness, or taste, for. To perform a factor analysis of correlational data. To perform a factor analysis of correlational data. Consider in a comprehensive way. He appraised the situation carefully before acting. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. I will have the family jewels appraised by a professional. An appraisal of the state of affairs. They made an assay of the contents. Make an effort or attempt. Analyze, chemical substances. A quantitative or qualitative test of a substance, especially an ore or a drug, to determine its components, frequently used to test for the presence or concentration of infectious agents or antibodies, etc. A substance that is undergoing an analysis of its components. A written report of the results of an analysis of the composition of some substance. Examine carefully for accuracy with the intent of verification. Audit accounts and tax returns. An inspection of the accounting procedures and records by a trained accountant or CPA. A methodical examination or review of a condition or situation. He made an audit of all the plants on his property. Attend academic courses without getting credit. The act of looking or seeing or observing. He tried to get a better view of it. See or watch. View a show on television. Graphic art consisting of the graphic or photographic representation of a visual percept. Figure 2 shows photographic and schematic views of the equipment. Look at carefully. Study mentally. View a problem. A way of regarding situations or topics, etc. Consider what follows from the positivist view. The range of the eye. They were soon out of view. A personal belief or judgment that is not founded on proof or certainty. The visual percept of a region. The most desirable feature of the park are the beautiful views. A message expressing a belief about something. The expression of a belief that is held with confidence but not substantiated by positive knowledge or proof. Deem to be. She views this quite differently from me. The range of interest or activity that can be anticipated. Outward appearance. They look the same in outward view. Purpose. The phrase, with a view to, means, with the intention of, or, for the purpose of. He took the computer with a view to pawning it. Dissect in order to analyze. Anatomize the bodies of the victims of this strange disease. Analyze down to the smallest detail. This writer anatomized the depth of human behavior. Examine carefully for accuracy with the intent of verification. To look at critically or searchingly, or in minute detail. Examine carefully for accuracy with the intent of verification. To look at critically or searchingly, or in minute detail. He scrutinized his likeness in the mirror. A strainer for separating lumps from powdered material or grating particles. Distinguish and separate out. Examine in order to test suitability. Separate by passing through a sieve or other straining device to separate out coarser elements. Check and sort carefully. Distinguish and separate out. Sift through the job candidates. Separate by passing through a sieve or other straining device to separate out coarser elements. Sift the flour. Check and sort carefully. Sift the information. Move as if through a sieve. The soldiers sifted through the woods. Short descriptive summary of events. The act of looking or seeing or observing. His survey of the battlefield was limited. Consider in a comprehensive way. Hold a review of troops. A detailed critical inspection. Keep under surveillance. Look over carefully or inspect. He surveyed his new classmates. Make a survey of, for statistical purposes. Plot a map of, land. Examine so as to determine accuracy, quality, or condition. To go back over again. We retraced the route we took last summer. A suggestion of some quality. A just detectable amount. He speaks French with a trace of an accent. Make a mark or lines on a surface. Trace the outline of a figure in the sand. Pursue or chase relentlessly. The hunters trace the deer into the woods. An indication that something has been present. There wasn't a trace of evidence for the claim. Follow, discover, or ascertain the course of development of something. Trace the student's progress. Read with difficulty. The archaeologist traced the hieroglyphs. A drawing created by superimposing a semi-transparent sheet of paper on the original image and copying on it the lines of the original image. A visible mark, as a footprint, left by the passage of person or animal or vehicle. Copy by following the lines of the original drawing on a transparent sheet placed upon it. Make a tracing of. Trace a design. Discover traces of. She traced the circumstances of her birth. Either of two lines that connect a horse's harness to a wagon or other vehicle or to a whiffletree. Make one's course or travel along a path. Travel or pass over, around, or along. The children traced along the edge of the dark forest. An appraisal of the state of affairs. A check on its dependability under stress. Be verified or confirmed. Pass inspection. These stories don't check. Make cracks or chinks in. The heat checked the paint. A mark left after a small piece has been chopped or broken off of something. Examine so as to determine accuracy, quality, or condition. Check the brakes. Develop a child's or animal's behavior by instruction and practice, especially to teach self-control. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Lessen the intensity of. Temper. Hold in restraint. Hold or keep within limits. The state of inactivity following an interruption. Held them in check. Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. Slow the growth or development of. A written order directing a bank to pay money. He paid all his bills by check. Be careful or certain to do something. Make certain of something. Mark into squares or draw squares on. Draw crossed lines on. Additional proof that something that was believed, some fact or hypothesis or theory, is correct. A mark indicating that something has been noted or completed, etc. As he called the roll, he put a check mark by each student's name. The act of inspecting or verifying. They made a check of their equipment. Something immaterial that interferes with or delays action or progress. The bill in a restaurant. He asked the waiter for the check. Put a check mark on or near or next to. Please check each name on the list. Be compatible, similar or consistent. Coincide in their characteristics. The handwriting checks with the signature on the check. Hold back, as of a danger or an enemy. Check the expansion or influence of. The act of restraining power or action or limiting excess. Abandon the intended prey, turn, and pursue an inferior prey. Arrest the motion of something abruptly. He checked the flow of water by shutting off the main valve. A textile pattern of squares or crossed lines, resembling a checkerboard. She wore a skirt with checks. Block or impede, a player from the opposing team, in ice hockey. Chess, a direct attack on an opponent's king. Consign for shipment on a vehicle. Check your luggage before boarding. Decline to initiate betting. Hand over something to somebody as for temporary safekeeping. Make an examination or investigation. Check into the rumor. Obstructing an opponent in ice hockey. Place into check. He checked my kings. Stop for a moment, as if out of uncertainty or caution. She checked for an instant and missed a step. Stop in a chase, especially when scent is lost. The dog checked. Verify by consulting a source or authority. Check the spelling of this word. Write out a check on a bank account. Examine so as to determine accuracy, quality, or condition. Be verified or confirmed. Pass inspection. Withdraw money by writing a check. Examine so as to determine accuracy, quality, or condition. Try to learn someone's opinions and intentions. Trace. Announce one's departure from a hotel. Record, add up, and receive payment for items purchased. Examine so as to determine accuracy, quality, or condition. Examine so as to determine accuracy, quality, or condition.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.